Welcome to this altcoin daily update on OGN with Bitcoin Gorilla. So this analysis is going to be straightforward to the point, right? It's going to be pure price action, and I will not be using any indicators. So if you do end up liking this strategy and my style, do give me a thumbs up and subscribe because I want to be updating as often as I can with this altcoin. So today we are looking at OGN and this is the chart. Remember, I do not use indicators, so I'm going to draw the chart and I'm going to bring in the Bitcoin Gorilla strategy. This is going to be a multi-time frame analysis, which means we're going to be looking at the daily chart as also as the weekly, the monthly, and if time permits us, I will try to scale through the 4 hours chart. So do bear with me. So currently what I am doing is drawing the chart using the Bitcoin Gorilla strategy. Now I developed this strategy myself. It is pure price action. So if it looks strange to you, don't worry, I totally understand. But do stick by because simple support and resistance is all I'll be working with, and then with trend lines, right? So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get a seller's line. Now each line I'm doing and I'm drawing and I need a minimum of 2 touches. So that's a quite a clear seller's line and a quite clear buyer's line right here. So if we zoom in on OGN, we see OGN also seems to have some certain sideways that has been going on in this range. So I'm going to try as much as I can to take note of it right there. So I'm also going to get the support and resistance of that range. I think I need to extend the top. So after the drawing, we're going to go straight to analyzing the chart. So that's the resistance area and this is the support area. Now I'm drawing this chart on the weekly chart, but when we start analyzing, we're going to be going between different time frames, right? Good. So now this is the clear chart obvious in my face, right? The clear resistance and support that I can see in my face. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the monthly chart and let's see what the candles are saying first without all this drawing. Just the candles. Let's just look at what the candles are saying. So if we look at the candles on OGN currently on the monthly chart, obviously there's no good sign because these two candles are quite very bearish and they are full grown body candles of which they are contending with this very big bull candle, but you can see they just literally closed below it. So you can see that yes, they made this move to the upside on the monthly, but you can see that the beards make sure that they exhausted the entire candle, the entire bullish candle, because this is what this candle is, the bullish breakout of the sideways that was taking place between these candles. So this is a sideways market where price was stuck in a range going back and forth. There was equilibrium between buyers and sellers, but then we had a breakout on the monthly, but the pullback has currently exhausted. So this is more like a retest of the breakout, because if I try to draw now, I'm going to do something. I'm going to bring back our chart and I'm going to try to draw a trend line, a slanting trend line, right? So I'm going to draw this trend line. Now, what I'm connecting in this trend line, I'm going to show you on the monthly, is this, is the fact that if you take close note of what played out, you find that price, you can see this, there was a seller's line. So there was a seller's line they were respecting when they were in that range, right? But they broke the seller's line. The funny thing is that when they returned, they bounced on the seller's line. This is where they touched the seller's line. So let's zoom in and actually analyze that together. When you zoom in, you find out that here they touched the seller's line, had a bounce. Now they are back to the seller's line, but this time around they have pierced the seller's line, and currently you can see them below the seller's line. So what does that tell me? Well, we're going to combine what we just saw on the monthly chart with what we're going to see again on the rest of the chart. Remember, it's a multi-time frame, right? But one thing you must also know is that in this particular chart, this range is my demand area. This range is my demand area. This range is my supply area. and this range is my supply area. This is according to the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy. If you want to learn more about this box strategy, please you can visit my website at makavelitraders.com. That's a community where you can even you can join the community if you want. I'll leave the link under this video so that you can visit the website and learn more about me and this strategy that I have developed. And if you want to learn more, you can come and join Makaveli Traders. So if you look closely, like I said, right here, you see that price has gotten very close to my demand area. Now I need to adjust this my demand area. It has not just gotten close to it. I need to adjust it because of what happened here and here. I'm taking note of every reaction of this. And you can see very close again right here. There's a reaction. So let's zoom in and you can see they just touched on it. So the thing is, if they are between this my demand range, right, chances are high of a bounce, of we getting a bounce. And of course, there's no sign yet on the monthly of even that bounce happening because of these two candles, of which just these three is a rejection candle, is a bearish candle. This 3 bar reversal is a bearish candle, right? Just it's looking similar to this three, right? But the only difference is this one is closing below the other two previous one, while this one closed above it, right? So sorry, above the previous candle, which is the green one before this one, the previous one before this one, which is the green one, right? So this 3 bar reversal candle is a rejection candle, of which we had a very full grown candle following it. Now if we go back to weekly chart, I want us to put everything we've taken from the monthly chart and put it on top of the weekly chart and see what result we are going to come out with. And I think if you look closely of what I was showing you, why I said it was important, I adjust my line, you're about to see it right here, right? So you can see what happened right here. You can also see what happened right here. You can also see the reaction right here, and they are back very closely to my demand area, right? So here's the thing: the previous broken support becomes a resistance. Now, in price action, support and resistance are constantly breaking, and you must understand that once they break, the previous support becomes a resistance, and the previous resistance becomes a support. So, in the weekly chart, now, what I am saying now, based on the weekly chart, is like price is still within a good range, right? Now, it might look like OGN is still dumping, right? It's still dumping. Yeah, what if Bitcoin dumps? Because every time Bitcoin dumps, altcoin dumps. Where here's the thing, like I always tell you, it's good to know how to use stop loss, and a good position to put stop loss right now is this particular range of 0.06, right? Nothing can go below it, and if anything goes below it, it's not worth staying in the trade for. But if you are, that is if you're a trader, if you're in for a long term, like I always talk, if you watch my previous video, I say go and stake your coin, that the imperishable loss is likely going to reverse over time, with the reward you're getting from your staking giving you access to mitigate loss and reduce loss, more like you're hedging the position or something like that. But in this situation, if you are trading, then you should have a stop loss. But I'm telling you that the position where we are, chances of a bounce is very high because of this my demand area. So price is likely going to return, but when it returns, the problem now with OGN is going to start facing the previous. Is just like, as a warlord, you are going for a war and you decided to attack everybody on your road to the town you're going to fight. So everybody on your way, you decided to shoot and clear. Now you've made a lot of enemies while on your way to war. When you're returning, it's not going to be such a safe seal, because now you have enemies who are waiting to take you down. It's the same thing, right? So when price is going up, right? When price is going down, right? It keeps breaking the support, the same support that was holding it when it was going up. So after breaking the support, when it decide to return back up, those supports are going to be a challenge, right? A good example is zero point 0.4 all the way to this 0.8, In fact, 0.76, approximately zero point 0.8. Let's call it zero point 0.8 because of the reaction that you see here. So let's say 0.8. This range is a very important range. You can also see that there's no coincidence that the seller line tend to coincide with, so they could move up and they will get hit around this range first, 0.4 all the way to this point, so they could react back. Now this is likely going to cause some sideways. So where they currently are, we could have within this February a move up, right? And this move up is going to face some certain challenge. Now if they, depending on the demand where they are now, if they move up, right, it is going to cause price to return back. Now, the return now is, we are hoping that when they return, they can hold up at least above zero point 0.4, like stay above it. If they can stay above it, then they can continue their journey, right? They can continue their journey up to zero point 0.9 to maybe probably 1.2, right? 1.2 to 1.4. These are range, but it's going to be a struggle. Why? Because once they get into this point, this area, it's going to be a struggle because of the past. You can see how much they have been struggling and before they broke below it. So by the time they return to it, it's not going to be a cheap ride for them. They are going to face the enemies they have made on the way and broken their friendship, right? So it's just like you are now a frenemy. They won't just let you pass like this. So price is going to move like this. It's going to go up. It's going to get attacked here, just like it got attacked here and got attacked here, and then we could have a pullback. It's going to be like a sideways, right? It's not going to be an easy one. So the pullback could either stop here or go deeper to this point, right? So the pullback could go deeper. Now this first pullback can also go deeper to go and lap on this and to go and land on this, right? To stand on top of this. So you could have a move like this to land on it, and then comes, so this move, this, if it goes like this, it could move like this, right? So thereby making something like a bias line that will be trending up, right? So it will try to keep that bias line while still struggling, and then it could now move up and then return back again, right? Before it could now attack this point. So this is a struggle I see coming on OGN. OGN need lots of patience. I'll be very honest with you, because first of all, they have to hold the current support. Now, I do not see OGN really dumping, because before it does that, I want to be currently every day coming to update you on what OGN is going to do next. So let's go to daily chart for the sake of let's go to 4 hours chart. Let's even break it further down. Let's go to 4 hours chart and let's look at this chart together and see what OGN is forming. So on this 4 hours chart, I'm going to also draw in. I'm going to use the box, interpret, and see if we can actually see what is happening. So this is the chart as it looks. You can see on 4 hours, they are not even following the line of this line. So you can see 4 hours has its own entire seller's line, right? Developing like this. You can see they broke the seller's line. So the range where they are on 4 hours is a very, very crucial one, right? So let's zoom in so that we have a very much better view of price, right? So we see, you see the struggle I was talking about. So we could have price, they could, they could, the current point now, if I pick my horizontal line, I'll see that there is a support, a mini support right there. Let me show you why I'm saying it. You can see the reaction right here. You can see the reaction right here. You can see the reaction right here, right? So the same thing, by the time I zoom in, let me zoom in so that you're going to see it. By the time I zoom in on the 4 hours, you can see this previous reaction. That's why I had to put that line. So if I zoom in on the current where price currently is. Remember that we drew this chart on 4 hours. You find out that price is struggling with that line. So what do? I want to see what this 4 hours is going to play like. So I'm going to bring in again the Bitcoin Gorilla strategy. This is very zoomed in. So if you're trading 4 hours, we're zooming in the chart to have a very closer view of what this chart will play out. And for me to have a fast one on this, I'm going to bring in the Bitcoin Gorilla strategy and see what I can get with what price is playing on the 4 hours. So this Bitcoin Gorilla strategy is used on all time frame. So let's look deeper. So here's what I'm saying, right? So right now you can see the point is, chances are high that we could have this price returning to this 0.28 range, right? This 0.28 range, and then at worst it gets to the bottom of my chart of 0.26 range, right? So 0.28, 0.26. So we could have price move like this and up, right? And this time around, they could be attacking the 0.36 range. So it's either they move like this or they move like this. But now, if they move like this, it will give us more like a double bottom on the 4 hours. And we all know what double bottom is. Double bottom will result to a test of this point. Now, when we finally have a breakout of my box, the box is going to move an equal move, right? So an equal move will give me a move of this point of attacking. So I will get an equal move of this point. So I could get 4.6 to 4.8, right? But here's the thing. The major resistance is the one that is lying right here. I would rather prefer to have this line right here. Though there's intraday mini other support and resistance where I feel they can easily get broken, but right here they could get react around at if you're trading 4 hours. So if this move break out, we could get a target to 4.8. And if the pressure really continues, we could have a fast one towards 0.54. But I really see a retest occurring, like they could move and then return. They could move up and return before making that move on the upside. And depending on the current demand, I really see a double bottom. Why am I targeting this point? Because I know the double bottom is going to play like this, right? So it's going to be an equal move of the down and the one hand of the W and completing it with the other hand of the W. So this is what I see on 4 hours. So do keep note and take note of this pullback that is currently on, right? So support is somewhere around 2.8 range, right? And if they go deeper at worst 2.6, but really I really see this one right here holding up. If this hold on, then the double bottom will complete itself. If the 2.66 range hold up, the double bottom will complete itself. So thank you for watching. But remember, this is my demand area. So which means within this range, once price enter this my red range, chances of a bounce is high. So for me, when I trade it, there are laws that I use to actually enter the trade in this range. So what I do is I have the candlesticks I observe and other things. If you want to know more about this love, please come and learn more. I will leave the link of Makaveli Traders. You can visit my website and learn more. I remain Bitcoin Gorilla. Thank you for watching. I will come next and update you on what OGN is going to do next. If you find this strategy and this analysis quite interesting, subscribe. Thank you for all my new subscribers. Remain blessed. Happy trading.